Hello beauties, it's Brittany. Welcome to my channel today. First off, I filmed a tutorial on this look using the Emily Edits palette. So if you'd like to see this look, make sure you check the information bar below. Today I want to talk to you about my favorite podcast recommendations. I have quite a long commute to and from work, and that's when I tend to get a lot of my listening in, but even before that and still to this day, I listen to podcasts all the time, like while I'm getting ready in the morning, when I'm doing my makeup, when I get home from work and I just need to kind of relax. I love podcasts. I do listen to a lot of audiobooks as well, but that's a different topic. Today I wanted to talk to you about my favorite shows that I am subscribed to on the podcast app on my phone. If you are not unfamiliar with podcasts, they're like quick little audio snippets from different people on different topics. You can really find anything that you're looking for if you want to start learning about things, if you're into true crime, if you're into sports, if you're into whatever the case might be, you could probably find a podcast for you. One of my most newest additions is Armchair Expert, and this is by Dax Shepard, who is married to Kristen Bell. They're both celebrities, and this podcast is very much, he has a lot of celebrities on the podcast, but he asks a lot of questions that they aren't generally asked when they're like on Jimmy Kimmel or different shows like that. He really kind of gets into more depth. It is, tends to be like an hour and a half to 2 hours. So really kind of gets into who the person is, what their interests are. And he definitely kind of has some standard questions that he asks everyone that's on his show, but he does really kind of mix it up and gets you to really get to know the person that's on, which I really enjoy. So I've definitely been loving that. It's also been giving me recommendations for movies and shows to watch because he'll have certain actors or actresses on and they'll talk about roles that they've been in, and I'm like, I really want to see that movie, or I should really watch that show. So Jason Bateman was on one of his episodes recently, and I started watching Ozark on Netflix. It's amazing. My second newest favorite is Kayla Nicholson's podcast Coffee Talk, and I love her on YouTube. She is seriously one of my biggest inspirations. I find myself like biting at the bit for a new one of her videos to come out. She's definitely very, very inspiring to me, and she's not a lot younger than I am, a bit younger than I am, and I'm still super, super inspired by her content, and she has a podcast now called Coffee Talk. You should all subscribe. It is amazing. She goes through different topics. She'll talk about, some of the topics that she's talked about is how to breathe into the moment, putting yourself out there, getting through a breakup, putting too much pressure on yourself. So she really has a variety of different topics, and I love that. I can seriously just listen to her voice all day long. She's Canadian, and she has like the most soothing, relaxing, empowering voice. I love it. And if you don't know this about me, I am true crime obsessed. So I have a lot of true crime podcasts on here, one of which is My Favorite Murder. Oh my gosh. I've listened to them since the very beginning, and I love Karen and Georgia. A lot of people do not love the fact that they do have like that California vocal fry voice to them, but I can definitely get over it. I love them. They're amazing women, and they are really building something amazing in the true crime community, and I am so happy to be a part of it. A few other true crime ones, one of which is Small Town Murder. This is also a comedy true crime podcast, just like My Favorite Murder is. So if you don't think that those two things should mesh together, then you probably don't want to listen to these, but it is something that I enjoy. So Small Town Murder is fantastic. They're comedians, they talk about true crime, and it's definitely something I can get into. True Crime Garage, this is definitely more of a serious true crime podcast. They're not comedians. It is very much factual based. They do a lot of research in order to talk about the murder, not meaning that the comedy ones don't. They still do have to do a lot of research, but True Crime Garage is definitely very research heavy. So I'm just going to kind of highlight a few other true crime ones because there's quite a few on here. Atlanta Monsters, Disgraceland, Last Podcast on the Left, Serial Killers, Snap Judgment. I'll have all of these listed down below. I did download Megan Rink's podcast, Don't Blame Me, but I haven't yet listened to an episode, so I can't totally recommend that one yet. Lore, L-O-R-E, is a really interesting one. It's very like moody, which is fun sometimes. And then I am in social media marketing, so I do have some kind of educational podcasts on here, so social media marketing, talk show, a couple things like that. And then, one of my favorites if I want to like just learn something new is Something You Should Know podcast. It's hosted by Mike Carruthers, and he's such a good podcaster. He was on radio before podcasting, and he's got such a good podcast voice. I find him very relaxing to listen to. He enunciates really well. He just articulates everything super, super well, asks really in-depth, difficult questions. He also plays devil's advocate very well and gets to like the heart of what it is that he's trying to ask. And every episode has 2 guests on it, and they are definitely a variety of different guests on different ranges of topics. So I'll read some of the titles: How to Find Hidden Collectibles in Your Home and Powerful Career Advice You Haven't Heard Before, The Amazing Way Your House Influences Your Behavior, How to Remember Anything, Anytime, Anywhere, What Really Makes You Love Work Long Term. So many different topics, and he has actual experts, professionals on, and he talks to them and asks them really good questions. So definitely one of my all-time favorite recommendations. If I didn't mention any that are on my list, I will have them listed in the information bar down below. I truly love podcasts. I feel like we are definitely in a day and age where we always feel like we need to have something on, and we need to be watching something, or we need to be listening to something. So there are times where I will just kind of shut everything off in the house and just let my mind be silent. But a lot of times when I am getting ready in the morning, or if I am working out or doing whatever, and I need to, like even at work, if I need to be listening to something to kind of drown other sounds out, podcasts are a really, really fantastic way to still be like learning something new and getting engaged with something that you don't actually have to watch. So I love podcasts. I've been a fan for years and years now. And yeah, I hope you enjoy these recommendations. If you end up downloading one of these from my recommendation, please let me know which one down below. And if you enjoyed it, I will talk to you all very soon in my next video. Have a beautiful day. Bye, guys.